Well, let's keep it going for Rocco Belcito.
How's everyone doing? All right, I'm grateful to be here. I've been thinking a lot about gratitude recently, and one of the things I've found I'm most grateful for is the fact that we didn't really have smartphones when I was in college. And that's because if I learned anything in college, it's that a cell phone doesn't mix very well with Miller High Life and a whole bag of mystery drugs. You start to make bad decisions when you mix drugs with alcohol, like the decision to play drinking games. See, I used to play a lot of drinking games in college. In fact, the drinking game I used to play the most was called Let's Call My Ex-Girlfriend Right Now. Because that's always a fun game, right? It's kind of like Jeopardy in a sense, except for the fact that you're too hammered to do anything but answer in the form of a question. You know, she picks up the phone, she's like, Rocco, I told you not to call me anymore, we broke up. And I'm like, you know what, I'll go ahead and take who the fuck is Alex for 600, please. And she's like, see, this is your problem. You're bitter, you're jealous, you're drunk all the time. I'm gonna hang up the phone now. And I'm like, whoa, before you go, I'd actually like to solve this puzzle, please. What is, why don't you still love me anymore? And sorry, the answer we're actually looking for is, what is you shouldn't have called her again, you creep. But the point I'm trying to make is like, life used to be so simple before we carried smartphones around everywhere we went, because we used to get to enjoy like the little moments of life. And you guys all know the little moments of life, like when you've been on a week-long drinking bender. And you wake up in a stranger's house, not really sure where you are or what you've done. You got to figure it out based solely on the clues that are around you. You're like, all right, what do I got here? I got a pencil sharpener, a butt plug, and a pair of bloody underwear. I know. And the only thing you can really think of at that moment is, wonder what that pencil sharpener was for. And that's when it hits you, you're like, oh, it explains all the blood. I know, that one's just for me. Anyways, I got married in November. I know, isn't that great? It means for almost an entire year I've been just a little sad. I'm only joking. I love my wife very much, but we've gotten to that point in our relationship where we get into arguments about like really strange things. For instance, we had some friends come over the house about a month ago, and after they left the house, my wife comes up to me and she's like, so I'm just curious why you and Derek never sit directly next to each other on the couch. And then here's where she tries to start an argument. She goes, it's a little bit homophobic, don't you think? And I'm like, homophobic? How the hell is that homophobic? And then she traps me in her infallible chick logic, right? She's like, see, this is what I'm talking about. You men are all the same. You think if you sit directly next to your best friend on the couch, your wieners are just gonna like magnetize together or something. But rather than get into an argument with her, I did what any good man would do at that moment. I walked out of the room, gave her the finger behind the door, and started to devise a plan to get back at her. So our friends came over the house this last weekend, and I was waiting until she was making direct eye contact with me, and I walked over to the couch, and I sat directly in Derek's lap. She and we weren't breaking eye contact, so I started to slowly gyrate up and down a little bit. I leaned back, I whispered in his ear, I was like, do you have a pencil sharpener? And then something very strange happened. Our wieners magnetized together. Anyways, after they left, my wife comes up to me and she was like, all right, that's it. You and Derek are not allowed to sit together on the couch anymore. And I was like, whoa, pump the brakes there a little bit, sweetheart. That's a little bit homophobic, don't you think, you fucking hypocrite? Anyways, since that day, I haven't really seen or heard from Derek, you know? I don't know, maybe she was right. Maybe Derek is a little bit homophobic. I should reiterate, like, I do love my wife very much. We do everything together. We were at the park the other day walking our dog, and we saw a flasher. Guy walked right up to us, opened his raincoat, showed us his wiener, started wiggling it at us. And my wife was like, Rocco, you got to do something about this. And I was like, oh, shit, I don't know what to do. So I did the only thing I could think of. I opened up my coat, showed him my wiener, you know? Started wiggling it at him. And my wife was like, what the hell are you doing? And I was like, cool it, baby, I got this. The only way to stop a bad guy with a cock is a good guy with a cock. All right, guys, that's my time. Thank you so much. My name is Rocco Belcito.